All right, let's get right into it. This one is pretty interesting. We have a January 6th person that was pardoned that just crazy. Obviously, they were crazy because they stormed the Capitol. Who in their right mind would ever storm the Capitol because your person that you voted for lost? Anyways, this person was pardoned by Donald Trump, obviously, and got caught in a operation to assassinate Hakeem Jeffries here. Great that he got caught. This is a CNN panel that I like to watch sometimes because it has both sides and they kind of argue and debate. Let's see where this goes.
Sixth rioter who received one of the president's pardons is now charged with allegedly threatening to kill Hakeem Jeffries. Authorities say Christopher Moynihan, seen here in the Senate chamber during the attack, sent.
Yeah, he's just normal person. This is what Trump calls Americans, by the way, not the ones that he did this to.
Text messages to an anonymous source that said, quote, Hakeem Jeffries makes a speech in a few days in New York City. I can't allow this terrorist to live. Even if I'm hated, he must be eliminated. And
remember, Republicans talk a lot about using bad words that incite violence. These people are called terrorists by a lot of the Republican Party, right? So are they inciting violence? I wonder if any of the Republicans on the panel will admit that. I doubt it.
And I will kill him for the future. That anonymous person then tipped off the FBI. In a statement, the House Minority Leader criticized the blanket pardon that Trump gave to the January 6th defendants and said acts of violence will not stop us from showing up, standing up, and speaking up for the American people. First of all, this is scary. But second of all, it's, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a natural consequence of pardoning people in a blanket fashion, just period, the end, regardless of what they were accused of doing.
Well, first, this is absolutely horrific and disgusting.
First, do you know what she's going to say after first? It's the same thing as but, except you got to say it first, so you can't say but. She's about to give a speech about how horrible this is, and but.
Disgusting, and I'm so grateful that the FBI is as impressive as they are and was able to capture this. There's a man named Alton Mills who Barack Obama pardoned, who was a violent criminal and went on to murder somebody else.
There is no way for these people. I don't know how they got where they are. I would do better than these people. The only argument they ever have is whataboutism. That's all they got. They have nothing else. Nothing else. Let me scoot this down. They literally have nothing else that they can speak of. There's almost no deeper intelligence besides the whataboutism. If you can only make your argument by talking about what someone else did, technically you're actually admitting agreeance. You're saying whatever they're pointing out, yes, I did it bad, but you did it too. You're agreeing with them. It's the worst non-argument that is used as an argument. And I don't even understand how they're allowed to keep doing that. Like, why does this group allow these people to keep doing that?
No one here knows his name because the reality is we can't be held responsible for what he did after that. This is disgusting, but I think to take a bigger look at what's going on, there is in fact one party that frequently releases violent criminals and puts them back on the street, and that is the Democratic Party, who's soft on crime. There was a man, DeCarlos Brown, who was arrested 14 times and went on to murder someone. So I think that is a bigger problem.
What does that have to do with anything?
Facing today. And as for Hakeem Jeffries, absolutely disgusting that somebody wanted to target him, and I'm so grateful that the FBI discovered that plot.
So a few weeks ago, rhetoric was the issue and was the source of political violence.
Now it's not. Oh no.
Now here's a man who was pardoned by this president for a violent act, who then threatens a member of Congress, congressional leadership, and it's no big deal?
It is a big deal. Absolutely. It's a huge deal. The plot was foiled, and
right, but
thankfully
I
everyone is safe.
I thought we just had this whole national conversation about rhetoric, which, by the way, I don't want to endorse that, but I'm just saying especially on the right, that was the conversation, was that rhetoric was leading to violence. But now all of a sudden it's like, well, this is just what happens when you let people out of prison. It's just part of
It's not what happens, and that's why we oppose.
She literally just said that this is what happens when you are soft on crime and let people out of prison. Do these people have like this button that gets pressed that they forget what they said, and that's how they can sound so honest when they pretend that they didn't just say what they just said?
To the soft on crime policies. Look, I'm not going to get into the pardons, whether that was a good thing or not, but it's happened.
I mean,
and
why
we can
not?
only
Why
move
Of course not.
forward
and
and make sure that the people who are dangerous criminals
But
are
isn't that
off
the
the
issue?
streets.
Isn't the issue in part whether
She
the
can't
pardons were
speak
good
bad
or
about
not?
Trump.
You
She's not allowed
mentioned-
to.
We're talking about this guy, but there were several others. Another pardoned January 6th rioter was shot and killed in a confrontation with Indiana police. A January 6th rioter.
You know what? I want you Trump supporters to prove me wrong. Go down in the comment section and list one thing that he's done bad. Go ahead. Go down there. Prove me wrong that you guys are capable of speaking badly about this man. Or do you think the boogeyman is going to come out of your closet or from underneath your bed and destroy you? Is it that dangerous to speak badly about this man? All right.
Who was pardoned by Trump, faced child sex charges. Ex-Proud Boy Enrique Tarrio arrested on assault charges outside of the Capitol after he was pardoned. Another rioter charged with burglary in Virginia. Another rioter arrested near Obama's house.
This is different, though.
Convicted on gun charges.
Yeah, it's different.
Part of the issue here is that Trump pardoned a bunch of people who were convicted in many cases for violent crimes.
And the issue is, look, first, two things. One, I think we should also commend the anonymous person who tipped off authorities.
That's
and
true.
Today I also saw a story.
Just because it's family don't mean nothing, y'all. If you have a bad family member, they're bad.
Tipped off authorities. And so the fact that we are more vigilant as a society and that people are taking the proactive action of trying to stop this and taking these threats seriously, I think is something good that we need to recognize and applaud.
Yep.
As you were mentioning, there's been at least 8 reported pardoned January 6th convicted felons who have been rearrested for different things, soliciting minors, firearm possession, different things. Look, here's the problem. That really pardons are a very serious thing which should be given all the weight and consideration and deliberation. Donald Trump wanted to make a big splash with pardoning them all with a blanket pardon on his first day, the first thing he signed, the first thing he did. If time had been taken to analyze each of them individually, maybe some of these things could have been avoided. But we are where we are. There's been at least 8. It's not the first. Hopefully this will be the last.
It is a risk when you blanket pardon a group without really looking into the individuals. The same risk applies to Joe Biden, who...
There we go. There is no way for these people to speak without bringing up the other group. We got to come together, guys. We got to vote all these people out. I'm sorry. I don't know what else we can do here. I don't know. The only argument anyone ever has is Biden did it. Oh, if Biden did something, oh, Trump did it. And I'm trying to avoid this two sides thing because I don't care. Right now, one side's in charge. We really need to come together and start condemning these people, even if you voted for them. Condemn this. What is he talking about Biden for? And if you think that's okay, you need to really question yourself. Go to the comment section below and tell me why Biden matters right now. Please, awaken me.
Pardoned thousands of drug criminals without looking into the individual files at the end of his administration. I don't know how many of them have reoffended. I'm sure if they haven't, some probably will because of the volume of them, and he'll be responsible for that.
Can I ask you a question about that? Are you suggesting that because Joe Biden did not personally look into each file or because it did not go through a process? Because I'm not sure it didn't go through a process. But
Well,
you're
I'm saying the president, it's pretty well reported that the president himself did not go through each individual case.
Sure,
and I'm just saying, simply, it's a risk.
But you understand,
when you blanket pardon, it's a risk.
I mean, I understand.
So should he not just say that, hey, it was bad that Trump pardoned all these people, and I also condemned Biden for doing the same thing? Why can't he just say that? These people are so dishonest. What's his name? Scott Jennings or something? This guy is really dishonest.
Yeah, but you understand also that there is actually a DOJ process generally that
Forgive me if that's not his
most other
name.
pardons go through. And even that process was circumvented for these January 6 rioters, and I don't think that they were for those
I think in the case of the drug
offenders.
cases, it was, I mean, they were looking for a class of people who they thought had been simply overcharged because of the drug issue. My point is simply this: whenever you do a large group of people and you're the president, the buck stops with you. You're ultimately responsible for what happens. I do agree, it's hard to connect one thing to the other. You don't know what people are going to.
Did he say whatever you are the president? He can't say Trump's name. That's insane. He can't say his name in a bad way. Maybe he does in a second, but you see how he's avoiding saying that Trump did it?
Do. I personally have no tolerance whatsoever for people who are granted mercy in our unique way we do it, and then go out and abuse that mercy. I have no tolerance for political violence. I have no tolerance for people threatening to kill anyone, from Hakeem Jeffries to Brett Kavanaugh to the other kinds of things we've seen. I have no tolerance for it, and I think they ought to throw the book at him. And I don't think any more mercy ought to be forthcoming people who have abused it in the past.
Good.
Well, I'd agree with that, but that means, in fact, that there's no more.
Hey, if you never seen this, I don't know who he is, but this guy, he always makes him uncomfortable. He's doing it on purpose, I feel like. He gets really close to him. Watch him lean over and make him feel uncomfortable. It's funny, sorry.
Or legal justification of blanket.
Okay, that's his name right here.
Of insurrections January 6th. There's not in
There's
any
whataboutism again.
argument one can make. And that's true for any president, be it Biden or be it Trump.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As you know, I'm
I,
not.
forgive me. It wouldn't be whataboutism right here, because he's on the subject that they're talking about, which is pardoning and Trump's pardons, right?
Fan of either one of those, because I think they're tied to war crimes in Gaza, but that's just a rich footnote. But the important thing is,
going off
it's more than
subject.
just a risk, though, brother. It is no moral and legal justification. Drop the mic.
Well, the
Boom.
lack of
That's it.
remorse is one big part of it. I
Yeah.
mean, these people were not remorseful in any way, and that's a big part of the problem.
Yeah, so we were just talking about pardons last week. I think pardons and commutations play an important role in our, and that the president should have that authority. I think that there needs to be systems and standards that apply for every president across the board, Democrat or Republican.
Absolutely.
But that aside, I think we're missing the context in which we're actually talking about when the story started about this individual and what they were actually trying to do on January 6th and how dangerous it was for our country, for people in the Capitol at that time. And so then I guess the question is, I like to see that usually when you get pardoned, there's a form of rehabilitation that happens. You have to show that you've served some time and that you've actually learned. We don't really know if that happened because it happened so fast under this administration. It was a campaign promise. It was actually like, I don't care if they served time and they did some rehabilitation. I'm going to do it so that my folks know I stand with these folks. And the final question I just have to ask is, Scott, you and I are aligned. There is no place for political violence anywhere, but why is it so heightened right now? And what is the antidote to bring it down? Because just putting one side against the other, we're just going to always just try to keep outdoing each other, and then violence will keep happening. So I want to go a layer deeper and try and figure out, like, why is this violence surfacing in such a way right now, and how do we get it to stop?
Oops.
I'm joined now by Congressman.
Don't mean to start that one. That ended on a good note from a reasonable person that didn't want to get into the stupid whataboutisms, because the only thing that should be going on in these groups is trying to solve the problem, trying to come up with a solution, trying to calm things down, not inciting violence. And when you do the whataboutisms, you are giving a path towards those things, excuses and violence. Because once you got an excuse, you're going to have a reason to be violent if you wanted to. And that's all the violent people are looking for, is excuses to be violent. And if we want to stop the violence, we have to have more honest conversations. We need to stop pointing the finger at someone else after we have done something. Because remember what I said. If you have to do whataboutism, it means you are admitting what the subject was wrong. And the only way your brain is allowing you to defend it is to point to say that somebody else did it too. It's childish. Think about being on the playground. It's childish. Grow up. Think for yourselves. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go to the comment section below. Like always, let me know where you agreed and disagreed. Click your buttons, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, question your beliefs and keep thinking.